What it also does is to shut off a present generation. Because if you call it the civil rights movement, then you can go and count up to 150, 200, 300 laws that are changed and rights that are achieved, and you can say, well, the civil rights movement succeeded. But if you identify it as a struggle for freedom, with all the depth that that means, then every human being who is open to an understanding of what it means to be human can say, aha, I understand that. That is what at some level I am engaged in, the search for freedom, freedom to be, freedom to become, freedom to give, freedom to share, freedom to be open to the world. And so every young person can ask the question then, and what does freedom mean to me? Were all the questions settled and solved in the 60s or the 70s? Or is there more now? And that's one of the reasons why I like to think as well of this idea of seeing it as a process, the expansion. That movement was seeking in its generation to work for the expansion of democracy in America. And there again, every generation can then be challenged to ask, and in what ways does democracy need to be expanded in my generation? Has it been done? Has the work been done? Do all the poor people of this country mean that the work has been done? Does all the militarism in the mind of this country mean that the work has been done? Do all of the broken cities mean that the work has been done? Or is there work that I can still do to expand democracy? And you know, one of the things that I often think about is that you never hear in any of the wonderful songs of the movement anybody singing, "Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on civil rights." No, woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom, freedom. And that's what the shouts were, freedom, freedom. Now, they didn't shout for democracy, and they didn't say, woke up with my mind stayed on democracy. That's clearly something that's coming out of my heart. But they were very much freedom fighters, they called themselves, freedom fighters. And so it seems to me that in deference and respect to those who created that movement, we ought at least to try to enter into their spirit. And civil rights movement was, and I say this with love, since long ago I went to journalism school, but it seems to me that civil rights movement was one of those lazy actions of journalists who can't quite figure out what to say in the headline. And civil rights movement is what comes forth. But we have more naming to do. And when we call it the movement for the expansion of democracy, we have more space to fill and more work to do. And that makes it not just a history, but a continuing action. And we can breathe deeply, and move forward.